The CIA has released videos aimed at recruiting Chinese officials. Now, this one, of course, coming through, depicts a junior official reaching out to the agency after being disillusioned that his work only serves the advancements of his superiors. Have a look at the video.
俗话说“筑梦人生”，可惜我是为他人之梦。这场梦中，我无法决定结局，我的命都由他人掌控。
Right, point number one to Mandarin. I think they did it also again last year, and certainly it's an active, quite a obvious attempt there to recruit disillusioned junior officials, or maybe even higher up the sort of intelligence, as the CIA really just looks to build its intelligence apparatus and just to try and figure out a lot more about their strategic rival there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, these sort of efforts in some ways aren't a massive surprise, but the timing is sort of interesting to me because the interesting thing about the trade war is that it has created the US and President Trump as a very obvious enemy to China. While before perhaps there was this deep disillusionment, there was sort of real anxiety about the way that President Xi was leading the market and leading the economy. Actually, now we have shifted to this environment where local government officials, we've reported, also local businesses and big businesses are kind of unified under this somewhat nationalist fervor to try and combat Trump. So, yeah, a question mark over just how successful these efforts will be, because they're really entering the fray at a moment where China arguably is becoming more united than it has been over the last couple of years.
Yeah, because of the efforts from the other side, ironically enough.
Exactly.
Right? And, it's interesting because sort of the notion we get here is that China has more experience and information about the other side than the other way around, right?
Yeah.
And I think that really underscores. The New York Times, I believe, back a couple of years ago, did report that the CIA, China was able to dismantle the CIA, at least as far as some of the apparatus there is concerned.
Yeah, and China itself has been, clearly flagging these heightened risks of recruitment. Even anecdotally, I know friends who have traveled from the mainland to the US and have received and seen warnings about, don't be lulled into accidentally sharing state secrets, particularly, of course, if you work for an SOE or a state company.
Yeah.
And we have seen the MSS putting out statements more regularly warning of, attempts by both sort of US administration, but also other countries trying to recruit Chinese citizens and warning against sort of the risk of that sort of surveillance.